Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? I hope that you had a wonderful Monday. It's already Monday. We're back again with another week, and I thought I would recap a few of the things that happened this week as a lot of things went down in the world of football. There's a lot of things to discuss, and I just wanted to hang out maybe for 45 minutes to an hour or so. So we're going to go ahead and get into this. If you're watching this on the replay or after the stream, thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, be sure to subscribe. Would love to have you on the channel more often, and we're going to get into it. I know I go live at very odd times for the UK, but that's simply because I mostly work during the times when everyone's live over there. So, yeah, I'll be your late night entertainment for the time being. So, we're going to go ahead and get into these this recap. What a crazy weekend, right? Especially if you are a United fan, maybe even a Barcelona fan. Things Chelsea fan, things didn't necessarily go our way, but we'll get into that. So many things have happened. So I'm actually going to share my screen here because I want to use this schedule kind of as my guide to discuss everything that's gone on. And the crazy thing is, the party is just getting started because we have Premier League matches starting tomorrow. So we'll definitely get into some predictions, how I think those matches are going to go, and all of that. So, getting into the recap, let's start with Saturday, and I'm going to share my screen here. All right. Y'all see that? We love it. Okay. So, getting into Saturday, as you can see, we had a few Premier League matches, and I did end up watching the Arsenal Wolves game. It was very boring, but all that matters is Arsenal got a result. So, we'll definitely get into the table for the Premier League as well. But we also have to talk about. Hi, AJ. How are you? Thank you. Thanks for joining. I hope you're doing well, AJ. I know it's late for you. But we also have to talk about FA Cup. We have to talk about La Liga. And I can't remember if Leverkusen played on Saturday or Sunday, but we'll get into it. So, I mean, starting with the FA Cup match, because it's the first one on the table here. As you guys can see, Man City won 1-0 to Chelsea. And pretty boring game, I have to say. It was a standard Man City Chelsea game, I feel like. One of the most boring of the ones we've seen of them this year. I think, looking at it as a neutral, Pochettino definitely had a good game plan going in. And I think the lack of no goals comes down to Nicholas Jackson. Let's be real. Nicholas Jackson definitely bottled a lot of opportunities when it came to this match. And if he was actually able to score, it would have been a different story. I also feel like VAR is so pointless when it comes to just English football in general because it's inconsistent. For me, when I look at VAR, it is supposed to be a tool that you use to help correct the mistakes of the human, right? So the human being the referee. So if a referee thinks that something's offsides or a handball, VAR is supposed to step in and say, "Wait a minute, that's actually incorrect. Let's fix it. Let's make things more consistent. Let's make things more clear." And I have to be honest, I feel like VAR has made things way more confusing than clear. VAR has made things way more muddy, and it's just a mess. And so in this match, obviously we did have the handball situation off the free kick with Jack Grealish. In my opinion, I definitely think it should have been a penalty, but VAR and whoever is at B said that it was not. So Chelsea did not get a penalty on that free kick, and here we are. And yeah, I would have much preferred, obviously, to have played Man City, but play Chelsea, but we're playing Man City. So that's the whole situation that went down with that. And you could definitely tell that the Man City players were tired, fatigued. They had just played Real Madrid on Wednesday. Personally, I think that the matches should have switched, where the teams who weren't in the Champions League should have played on Sunday, and Man United's game should have been on Saturday. That's just me. I don't know if they can do that logistically because people buy tickets, people plan to be there on a certain day, so I get it, but that's just my 2 cents. So yes, Man City go through to the FA Cup final. They're headed to Wembley. I think the game is like May 25th or something, so it's in about a month, and it'll be another Manchester derby. So am I looking forward to it? No, but we'll talk about that when we get to it. Then we have the Premier League matches. Brentford balled out. Wissa, I don't even think Tony played, if I'm not mistaken. 5-1 for Brentford. And yeah, Luton Town. They were doing so well, weren't they? They were doing so well there. But it is what it is. And then getting into the next couple of matches in the Premier League, we had Burnley play Sheffield United 4-1. Now, I didn't watch these two matches. Couldn't be asked to get up that early to watch these two. But Burnley, they did what needed to be done. And they ended up beating Sheffield 4-1. And then we have Arsenal versus Wolves. I did watch this game, and like I said, it was boring. But it doesn't matter because at this point in the season, when your players are tired, it's just stress with cups and leagues. You have to win. Results are the most important thing, in my humble opinion. And Arsenal got the result. And because of it, they are now at the top of the Premier League table, I do believe. So we will actually look at that a little bit later. All right. And AJ here, he says, I'm good. Thank you, Sunshine. Well, thank you. And again, thank you guys so much for being here. Please hit the like button, and we're going to continue. So we have, some La Liga matches. We're not really going to talk about these because I'll focus more on the Madrid and the Barcelona game. And then it does look like Leverkusen played yesterday. So we'll talk about that. So let's get into Sunday. All right. This is where things get spicy. Now, I'm going to talk, I think, about the FA Cup match for Manchester United later because I have so many things I want to say. But let's get into the rest of these. And AJ says, Wolves was so bad, but Trossard saved us again. I will say, it could have been worse for Wolves because Wolves had so many injuries, right? So I think the fact that they were able to contain Arsenal to 2 goals is good. But Wolves obviously is not the same team that they've been the whole year with the injuries they've had to sustain. And yes, I would agree, AJ, that Trossard, he's killing it for y'all right now. He is. Let's be real. He's saving you. He saved y'all in the Champions League. And, is he your player of the season? I don't know. Could be. But let's get into these other matches. So first, let's get into a really exciting match between Dortmund and Leverkusen. And the main reason why it was exciting because it looked like Leverkusen was going to lose. And this is a big deal because obviously we all know they have not lost this season. And so it looked like Dortmund was going to pull off the upset, give them their first loss after they just won the Bundesliga for the first time in their club's history. But, of course, Leverkusen did not die, and they ended up drawing to Dortmund, and their record remains intact. What a team, what a game. Honestly, they have just been so fun to watch this year, and I want them to get their treble. I believe they still are in the Europa League as well as I'm not sure what it's called, but it's like the German Domestic Cup. So Leverkusen is still in that, and I want them to get that treble. I want them to get that Domestic Cup. I want them to get that Europa League Cup. It's what they deserve, and they are still undefeated for the season. So kudos to Leverkusen. What a season. What a way to fight. and you love to see it. Getting into La Liga, of course, we had the El Clasico. So many things happened. So many things happened this match. It was back and forth, and it was good. I will say it is very shocking that La Liga football does not have goal line technology. I don't know. From what I've seen, it looks like it's because it's too expensive, which makes no sense to me, especially in a league like theirs when I feel like it's definitely warranted. And in my humble opinion, as a Madrid fan, Barcelona was definitely robbed. I feel like Barcelona should have gotten that goal. It would have, I think it would have either, if I remember correctly, I think it would have equalized for them at the moment or might have put them up. Either way, they got robbed. Absolutely got robbed. And you hate to see that in football. As a football fan, you hate to see it. Hello, Warrior. How are you? Thanks for joining. So back and forth. And then right there at the end, it has been well overdue for Jude Bellingham to score. He's been in kind of a slump lately when it comes to scoring goals. And Lucas Vasquez, man of the match to me. Absolutely outstanding performance. And his assist to Jude for the game-winning goal, chef's kiss. I loved it. It was so fun to watch. I mean, there were so many things that Lucas did throughout the match outside of that assist, but what a performance from him. And I just love watching this Real Madrid team. And again, it's so jarring to see them play like this when they did not play like this against Man City. So just absolutely crazy. But because of this, all right, let's go ahead and look at the La Liga table. So I'm going to see if I can switch my screen here because I thought that they were going to get the actual title, but I think that they have to play one more game, like clinch the title. So as you can see here, Real Madrid has 81 points, Barcelona 70, Girona 68, Atletico Madrid 61. So they're 11 points ahead. I'm not sure. I'm assuming that if they win their next match, they're the champions. I could be wrong, but they are over 80 points. So I thought they were like going to celebrate then, but yeah. Anyway, Real Madrid definitely to me are going to be the winners for the La Liga championship, which I love. I love for Jude. I love for Vinny. I love for Rodrigo. I'm happy. I'm happy for them. Okay. But yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you, Warrior and AJ, for being here. Again, please be sure to smash the likes and hit the subscribe button. AJ says, Sunshine, what do you make of the Trent to Real Madrid rumors? I actually have not heard those. Hi, Jojo. I have not heard those, AJ. So if they're true, personally, I would love that because I have a deep appreciation for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And if I could be able to celebrate him without guilt in the fact that he is not on my arch enemy's team, i.e. Liverpool, I would love it. So, yeah. That's going to be that. And then, let's see here. I hope you had a good day, Jojo. So let's get into the Premier League ones. All right. Exciting day in the Premier League. As you can see, Everton beat Nottingham Forest 2-0. And there was so much drama with this match because Nottingham Forest had 3 penalty opportunities that were not called in their favor. Ladies and gentlemen, 3. And as a result, they went on Twitter, released a statement, all of this stuff. It's been very, very dramatic when it comes to Nottingham Forest. And I understand the frustration. Do I think it's somewhat unprofessional? Absolutely. I feel like it's hard because every team has experienced some sort of heartbreak or frustration when it comes to VAR this year. But I think I would hope the Premier League would see how this is such a big issue. And I say this so much, but I need all the Premier League officials to go to watch the AFCON tapes. Because say what you want, AFCON officials and the way that was run was so class, and I was so impressed. So that's my that's my 2 cents. All the Premier League European refs need to go to AFCON training. And I think we could fix a lot of our problems. And then I need the VAR officials to do what they're supposed to do and not be biased and keep things consistent. If something's a penalty, keep it a penalty. We don't need this gray area. It's the gray area that's messing things up. Moving on, Aston Villa 3, Bournemouth 1. Okay, Aston Villa did what needed to be done, and they got those 3 points. And then Crystal Palace beat West Ham, and this was a huge match for Manchester United, because West Ham, if they would have won this game, would have gone above us on the Premier League table, so we would have been 8th instead of 7th. So it was a great win for Crystal Palace. I was really happy about it, selfishly. And so Crystal Palace got that W and those 3 points. And then Fulham lost to Liverpool 3-1. And the highlight, I would say, of this match is Klopp's decision-making when it comes to dropping players. This is why I rate managers like Klopp and like Pep Guardiola, is because their standards and their way of football comes first over an ego or a player. And I genuinely believe him dropping Mohamed Salah and him dropping Darwin Nunez helped the fluidity of his team's offense. And it was clear. You could see it in the way that they played. Made a huge difference. And Liverpool they looked like themselves again. The Liverpool that we've seen throughout the year that just wouldn't die and always got the win somehow. We saw a glimpse of that Liverpool again. And kudos to Klopp for making those decisions. Also, of course, obviously, Trent was back, had an amazing free kick. Jota as well was back, who's someone that they desperately need, who is a very clinical finisher for them. So things are looking, there's a glimpse of something for Liverpool. Now, do I think they're going to win the league? No, but you know, they responded well, let's say, to the past 2 weeks that they had. Jojo says, you think Man United, we win all the games? Like the remaining games? We'll see. We'll get into that. If Real Madrid land Mbappe, Trent, and Davies, I'm having them winning the next 3 Champions League in a row. That would be crazy, AJ, but I don't know if that would be sustainable. How do you run? There's so many talents and egos. You're adding all of that with Jude, Vinny Jr., Rodrigo, Camavinga, Tchouaméni. I just feel like there's a lot going on there. How do you? I mean, if anyone can do it, it's Carlo Ancelotti. But I just feel like there's so much going on there that's a lot of talent to try to rein in, in a system. Get Eze and Elise, yeah, absolute ballers. Absolute ballers. I personally would prefer Watkins, though, from Aston Villa, but definitely 2 great ballers. AJ, you guys do need a striker at Arsenal. So, understandable. But before we move on to the FA Cup match, let's go ahead and look at the Premier League table as we're talking about the Premier League. So let's go to the table here. And I think you guys can see that, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's not the table. Oh, no, that's the table. All right, cool. So let me just make this a little bit bigger. Thank you guys again for joining. Be sure to smash that like button and subscribe if you're watching on the replay. But Watkins, I would love him bring the Arsenal fan home. Was Watkins an Arsenal fan? Can't have him. Sorry, he's coming to United. But as you can see with Arsenal's win versus Wolves, they are now at the top, and that's simply because of their goal difference. Liverpool is second now because they obviously beat Fulham, and then Man City is third. Now, here's the thing. I think we have 5 or 6 matches left. It's the results that matter. At this point, it doesn't matter about how ugly it is. It doesn't matter. You have to scrape a W. You need the 3 points. And the reason why is because you have Manchester City. And Manchester City's remaining fixtures are not that hard for them, when you compare them to Arsenal and Liverpool's matches. So you have to get the dub. It is imperative that Arsenal especially gets a W. So then we have Aston Villa in fourth, which I actually really love for them. I think I would prefer Aston Villa in fourth over Tottenham. And then we have Newcastle in sixth, Manchester United seventh. And this is where it gets crazy, right? Because I also, as a Man United fan, have been so shameless when it comes to Chelsea, because even though things have been bad for us, I could always rely on Chelsea to be my mud brother and say, you know what, things could be worse because Chelsea's in 11th or 12th or something like that. But they are slowly making their way up the table. And they have a positive goal difference, and they're only 3 points behind us. Am I nervous? Yes. Very. Big up AJ Trossard needs to be what? Cooked? Is that what that means? Is that what that means? Why does Trossard need to be cooked? And then AJ says, big up Minerals every time. Yeah. Thanks for joining, Minerals. Thanks for saying hi. So, yes, this table right here in the middle part concerns me. All right. But this is where we are. And going into tomorrow, Arsenal has a huge game versus Chelsea. Huge game that they must win. AJ, is that game at home? Is that game at home for you? And AJ, no, I do not. I do not want any form or semblance of European football. I want us to focus on Premier League, and that's it. We don't need anything extra. Mineral says, big up Sunshine FC mate. I'm scared for tomorrow, not going to lie, but hey, we need to stand on business. Yeah, I could see why you'd be nervous for sure. And I'm just curious. Hi, NS Sports. Is the Arsenal match at home? Oh, you're at home. So Arsenal's at home. Okay, so that's better for you. That's better for you. As somebody who doesn't want City to win, I need Arsenal to win as well. So I need you guys to do what needs to be done and get the W. All right. All right. Heading into the last match that I wanted to talk about for the weekend, the FA Cup match between Coventry City and Manchester United. Where do I even begin? So, I think the only people watching this match that genuinely knew we could bottle it were Manchester United fans, because this has been our tried and true all year. We've blown so many 2-0, 3-1, 3-0 leads this year. And going into halftime, I mean, just being up 3-0 in general, I never felt confident. I never felt secure. I always felt in the back of my mind something bad could go wrong. Something bad could go wrong. And that's exactly what happened. And the main caveat to that downfall in that match, I truly believe, was the substitutions. I feel like Garnacho should not have gone off. I understand to a degree why he may have wanted them to go off, because they are young. Maybe he wanted to save their legs. I don't know. But he had people on the pitch playing who were hurt. Maguire was playing through an injury. I believe Scott McTominay was playing through an injury. So I'm confused as to why Erik ten Hag subbed off Garnacho, kept Rashford on. And Rashford had a shockingly terrible performance yesterday. So the substitutions happened. He also then takes off Mainu and brings on Eriksson, which was another terrible decision. As a result, we lose control of the game and we concede the first goal. And if there's one thing that Man United is consistent in, it is not being able to handle adversity, which is something we can't do. We haven't been able to do that all year. So as soon as we conceded that goal, I knew it was done. And we have no leaders. Our captain doesn't exist. So we had no one to rally the troops, to calm everybody down and say, hey, it's fine. We're still up 3-1. Chill out. There's 71 minutes in the game. We just have to get through 20 more minutes, relax. But no, everyone panics. Everyone panics. And we went into just like head loss. We had, I don't know what, I feel so bad for Aaron Wan-Bissaka because I feel like almost every goal was his fault to a degree, right? The penalty, of course, and then it was just so much. And it was so embarrassing. So embarrassing to just see the deterioration of our club and the capitulation of our club that match. AJ says, yeah, Anthony, what on earth was, yeah, I don't know what Anthony was doing with that celebration, but he needs to chill. Anthony's so shameless. Maybe Eriksson was for control. No, he didn't help though. He didn't do anything. AJ, thoughts on Anthony? Oh, Sunshine, how are there still 10? I don't know. But Mark Goldbridge is still Ten Hag in. There's a few other creators who are still Ten Hag in. And their main concern or their main excuse, I would say, is injuries and the players. And the thing that I think I'm the most frustrated with in this discourse is it is 100% possible to not back the manager as well as the players. And I feel like people who are supporting the manager aren't understanding that. You cannot like Erik ten Hag and not like the players. That is possible, ladies and gentlemen. Believe it or not, you can do that. And it's so frustrating to try to talk to somebody who supports Ten Hag because they don't get that. They don't understand how I can not back the manager and not supposed to support the players and want everybody gone. Whereas they think if they just get rid of the players, everything will be fixed. But I just don't think Erik ten Hag is good enough, you know? It's a very, very weird time to be a United fan. When it was 3-3, I couldn't believe it as soon as the offside goal happened. Listen, that clip of Saeed where he falls off his chair and his legs are in the air. Hilarious. Jojo says, we don't have any lead in Manchester United. No, leader, we don't. I'll put it like this. If Arsenal player did what Anthony did, yeah. Goldbridge is a Nottingham Forest fan. That's what the streets say. I couldn't tell you. I have no idea. But yeah, so it was just, I mean, kudos to Coventry City. As a football fan, I wanted them to win. They deserved the win. To me, though, with the offsides call, if it's offsides, it needs to be called offsides. I'm not with the notion of just giving someone the win because they deserved it. If something was against the rules, it needs to be called against the rules. And no matter which way you slice it or dice it. And personally, I say give it to Coventry City, but that's not right. And I'm all about doing things with integrity. And so if it's offsides, it needs to be called offsides. My only issue is the inconsistencies. And again, we talked about this again because Aaron Wan-Bissaka's penalty call, the handball call, was really harsh in my opinion. But it's a handball. The issue, though, then is with the Chelsea match because that was a handball as well, but it didn't get called. So again, this is where I'm coming into an issue with VAR because what is the rule? There is so much gray area when it comes to these calls and these situations. It's never going to be fair. And that sucks for teams because it honestly feels like not only are you playing against the opponent, but you're playing against VAR as well. So it's like you have to go into a match assuming you're already down 1 goal. That is literally what I would tell a team if I was a manager. Every match you go into, and if you're in a big match like a Champions League final, you need to think and act like you are 2-0 down already, simply for the fact of VAR. That's just the reality of the situation. I'm not saying it's right, and I definitely think it needs to be fixed, but that's where we are, unfortunately. If I'm completely honest after that, if Coventry don't get all their best players, we'll get bought by Prem clubs. Oh, you think they'll get bought? I don't know. I didn't think they were that good, but they fought hard, and that's sports for you. Jack was laughing after getting away. Yeah, I'm sure he was. It looks so intentional. It looks so intentional. Anyway, so we go into penalties, and it looks like Casemiro missed his on purpose. He pulled a Bernardo Silva and tried to go right down the middle for some reason. Don't know what was going on there. But unfortunately, Coventry City just didn't have the talent when it comes to taking a penalty. And as a result, we won. As y'all know, Rasmus celebrated, which was a little bit annoying and awkward to watch because nobody celebrated with him. But I understand it because he took the penalty that won the game and he was like letting that out. But Anthony was the problem when it comes to that. And I've never felt so much shame. And we are going to a cup final. That's what's crazy. We have the opportunity to win a trophy, and I feel shame. Make that make sense. Only Manchester United could do that. Only Manchester United. Jojo says, Marcus sell. Absolutely. Absolutely. I just think for the best for him mentally, for the best for his career, he needs to go to PSG. He needs to go to that style of league where he can just get away from everything, make the same amount of money, and just end his career in that style. It's what he deserves. Because at the end of the day, it's not all Rashford's fault. Let's be real. Manchester United has not done Rashford any good. It's not like he's had the best experience. It's not like he's been given the best treatment or training. What manager has tried to develop him? It's not all on Rashford. VAR has ruined football, no doubt, but thoughts on Cass is, yeah. But you got to stay professional. Personally, I don't want a player on my team who's going to sabotage a game like that. Whether you like the coach or not, absolutely not. Because this club is playing your bills. So suck it up, be a man, and make the penalty. Sorry. That's just how I feel. I'm not about that life. That whole Coventry makes Crystal Palace, Fulham, Brentford. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, they are mid-table Champions League. It's not like they're like Leicester City, which is like what, 1 or 2. So maybe a couple of them, but I don't think all of them would. So that's just my 2 cents on that. But yeah, what a crazy, crazy, crazy week of football, But I love it. I love being able to talk about it. I love being able to just recap everything. And then we're heading into matches this week. Midweek matches. So let's talk about these. Shall we? Is that going to share? Is it sharing that tab? I don't think so. Oh, there we go. All right. So we have one match tomorrow at noon for me. So sorry if these times are a little bit jarring. But Arsenal play Chelsea. And if this match was like 2-3 months ago, I would have wanted Chelsea to win. But because I need Arsenal to win the Premier League, Arsenal, you must. Please. Just get the W, okay? Get the 3 points. You need it. This is a huge game for Arsenal. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see if Saka plays. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. But yeah, I need Arsenal to do a madness here. And then getting into Wednesday, we have Wolves and Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, Newcastle, Everton, Liverpool, and Man United, Sheffield. Again, another must win for Liverpool. Liverpool just needs to get the 3 points. If Arsenal and Liverpool can continue to win, I think we'll be good. Because I'm not sure if City has any other games in hand. But then of course Thursday City play Brighton. So yeah, I know. I just need you guys to like not bottle it. you know? Like you can do this. You can do this. For my predictions for Arsenal Chelsea, I'm gonna go 3-2 Arsenal. Yeah, that's my prediction. Let me know yours in the comment section or the live chat. For our game for Man United Sheffield, God, the hardest thing about being a Manchester United fan this year is I'm never confident. I am never ever fully confident when I go into a match that we can win. There's always a small possibility we'll bottle, clearly, and you've seen that in what's happened. So we're home. I'm gonna go 2-1 United. 2-1 United for that one. Arsenal has bottled one for 3 years. I know, AJ. I know you have PTSD, but like I need you to win. And I don't know if you heard my prediction, but I said 3-2 for Arsenal. 3-2 for Arsenal. What's your Arsenal prediction? Jojo says you think Chelsea? No, I think Arsenal is going to win. It's not going to be easy, but they should win. And then AJ says 1-0 Manchester United. I think Liverpool should have no problem with Everton. I'm going to go 3-1 for Liverpool on that one. And then for Brighton Man City, I'm going to go 4-2 Man City. 4-2 Man City on that one. And that's pretty much all we have for Premier League fixtures until the weekend. And yeah, so many fun games. We got Spurs, Arsenal. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for these. We play, I think it was, Burnley. And Liverpool plays West Ham. So yeah. We got some games. We got some important games coming up, 2-1 in the Arsenal Chelsea game, but honestly, no idea with club wins. Yeah. It's always fun to predict, though, in my opinion. Always fun to kind of predict what you think could happen. So I always like to do that. But thank you guys again for joining. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on how the weekend of football went for you. If you're a fan of any of the teams that won or lost, and as always, please sure to hit that like button and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me in the live stream with AJ, JoJo, Warrior, Minerals, all the OGs. Thanks for hanging out with me in the live chat. This is my NDL modding for Jacob. What do you mean? Your NDL modding for Jacob? Oh, are you going to be modding? I see. You're going to be modding for him during the game, during his watch along. Understood. I didn't understand what you were saying there for a second, but I get it now. I understand. But yeah, I'm going to head out. Thank you guys so much again for taking the time to spend your evening with me, and I hope you have a wonderful week. We will be back. I might do a review of the match tomorrow night, so be on the lookout for that. I will give you my review of that later in the evening, probably around the same time. So I might stream around 7 and give you a review of the Arsenal-Chelsea match. So thank you guys so much again for tuning in. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day or night. God bless, and I'll see you in the next stream.